Hi guys, welcome back to Gym Girls Unfiltered. I feel like we have a pretty good topic today that is gonna resonate with a lot of you guys. I know it does for us three, but we have Halloween coming up. I don't know what time you guys are watching this, but Halloween is coming up for us. Gosh, Thanksgiving is coming up. Before we know it, Christmas is going to be here. And it can be a really tough time to navigate if you're somebody that's like really into your fitness, right? And what you're eating and how you're training. So we just wanted to talk about how we navigate that and any tips that we have for you guys. So, Kate or Caroline, do either of you guys want to kind of kick it off?
Kate, you could get off.
I think the biggest thing, like going into like the holiday seasons, or even if it's like any time during the year and you're like going to a birthday party or like some family event, your mindset is honestly going to be everything. And I used to go in to every occasion, every holiday with like the all or nothing mentality, and it almost would like make me shut down into what other people had to say. I used to be like super like, oh, if anyone says anything to me, like I'm just gonna like I would get so upset and be like almost hide everything I was doing and like hide my food, hide the fact that I was like working out, and I almost took it like as a insult, I guess. But I think how my mindset has changed from just like 2 years ago, even a year ago. I look at it now as like a way to educate people and like talk to them about like what I do. And I don't have that all or nothing mentality anymore. I used to go into holidays and I would be like, I'm only eating my food. Or sometimes I went through like a year, I'd be like, no, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. It would like turn into this big like binging episode. So like, you don't want to be all or nothing on each end of the spectrum here. Like, yeah, if you want to take your meals, that's fine. You can like even grab some like appetizers or anything. Or like, heck, if you're not in prep and like you're in a full growing season, and you're able to go and eat the meal and like until you're satisfied, eat what you want, but like don't go overboard. So I think that was like me's like number one tip is like mindset.
Absolutely. I think like the biggest thing too is knowing that like you have your habits, and one day isn't going to throw you off track. But if you let it bleed into the next few days, absolutely. But a lot of us have spent so much time building those habits of eating good meals, of being in your training and all of those things. And if you have that foundation, enjoy that day. Like Kate is saying, it's like be present. We're so fortunate to be able to have that time, and you don't want to be stressing about your meals or your workouts or those things and letting you not be present in that moment with the people that you enjoy. And I think that there's a lot of like peace that comes from knowing that you can get back into your normal habits tomorrow, right? You don't have to punish yourself and like starve yourself that next day or do extra cardio to make up for it. You just get right back into your normal habits.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to honestly planning. Like, for example, if for Halloween you're gonna drink, maybe you decide that you're only gonna have two drinks and limit yourself and decide that you're gonna have something like, tequila or vodka and water and add some Mio to it. And then, throughout the day, eat your meals on track. Or for Thanksgiving, you know that you want to enjoy some desserts. So for, your Thanksgiving dinner, you're gonna go in and you're gonna build your plate around proteins and then add your sides and maybe, not drink on Thanksgiving and then enjoy some desserts and just little things like that of not feeling like you have to completely go all in, like Kate said, but not restricting completely. But I think, it also comes down to your goals. Cause like for me personally, for Thanksgiving, I am not like a huge Thanksgiving food eater. I don't know about you guys. So I always bring my own meal, but I still love to participate. So I'll always like make a dish to bring to Carson's just to feel like I was and am a part of it. So I think there's ways to feel like you are still a part of it while still reaching your goals at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you said there too, because I do love Thanksgiving food. I used to not. I used to like really not like Thanksgiving food. I grew up so picky, but now I do. But I love that you said that, Caroline, where it's like one, you can either bring your meal and enjoy it with everybody. That's something that I do like when I'm traveling, if I'm on prep, is I'll literally bring my Tupperware and I'll put it on a plate to feel like a normal person. And that's probably what you do at Thanksgiving, which is so
Yeah,
cool.
I always make something similar to like a Thanksgiving themed dinner. So usually it's something like asparagus or green beans, and then usually maybe sometimes I'll eat the turkey and then I'll like make my own sweet potatoes. So it's like Thanksgiving themed and like feels like Thanksgiving, but it's not like their food.
Yeah. And I think it's important, the second part that you said too, and this is something I tell my clients as well, even if it's not Thanksgiving, but building your balance plate around a protein. I think that there's so much value to that. Like, especially what Kate was saying, where it's not all or nothing. You don't have to throw your goals out the window if you don't want to. You can focus on, okay, I'm going to go in. I'm going to start with my protein, my lean protein, and then I'm going to build my plate around that. I'm going to fill up on my protein, and then I'm going to enjoy what I'm having, but it allows you to be a little bit more mindful, still enjoy the food, still be present, and not feel like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this too, but you'll be eating a free meal or eating a meal that's not your normal, right? Eating out, eating with family. Do you ever get like that overwhelming feeling of like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? Like you're almost overthinking it, so you're not actually enjoying the food or being mindful of your having
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I used to would go take a free meal and it honestly like it wasn't that good and I'd be like, I just wasted a free meal or I just wasted my one meal I get. And like it was such like a toxic mindset. And honestly, like even approaching like the holidays and stuff, I would kind of like be like so worried about being like feeling guilty or that I was derailing all my progress. I wasn't even like focused on what I was eating. I wasn't focused on being present. And I think a lot of like just Americans in general, like we find a lot of like socialization in food and it shouldn't be like that. It should be like the company who you're with, being with your family. Like I went through my whole prep through my birthday, through holidays, and I had some of the best times because I focused on being present. Like, yeah, you want to be able to go enjoy the food, but the food isn't everything.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. And it's something that I'm still navigating too, where it's like, okay, the food isn't the most important thing here. And I can enjoy it, I can do it, but I don't need to put so much weight on that. And I just need to be focusing on the people that I'm with. And I think that's something that I started doing too, is like, even if it's not a holiday, like eating without distractions. That way I'm just enjoying what I'm doing and not putting like rushing through it. Or if I'm with family, I'm focusing on the conversation. Like I used to get so like involved in what I was eating that I wasn't even like enjoying the time with my family, you know?
Yeah.
I think some other points to note with nutrition around holidays is don't skip your meals earlier on in the day. I used to be the person that would like fast all day until 5 o'clock, and then I would go and be so freaking hungry. I would just eat everything and I couldn't get full. And then there I am on my fourth plate of like whatever mac and cheese and like
Absolutely.
if you just eat normally through the day or not even like you can adjust your food. Like you don't want to starve yourself, but make sure you're getting at least like 3 meals with protein in it. Get some veggies, maybe a little bit of carbs, and then for dinner, like go enjoy your meal. Or
Yeah.
let's say like you want to wake up and you're gonna have a high protein breakfast, maybe like some egg whites with some oatmeal and fruit, and then you're having Thanksgiving lunch and maybe rest of the day you can like either if you like take your meals or like you get leftovers from Thanksgiving, make those more protein dense and like some veggie focus, but don't skip meals for the day because personally I used to do this and it only put me in a deeper hole.
I want to emphasize that so much. If you take away one thing from this podcast, let it be that. Hit your protein before and fill up on protein before you go into a free meal, whether it's a free meal, whether it's a holiday. Because like Kate said, if you're starving going into that meal, one, you're not going to be present because you're going to be so hungry. You're going to be thinking about what you're eating and how much you can be eating. But if you can fill up on protein before you go, you're going to be able to be that much more mindful. You know that you're going to be roughly close to your protein target. So you're going to feel a little bit better about that. And you're just going to feel better. So that's something that I always recommend is filling up on some protein, filling up on some fiber, just like you said, Kate. I would definitely like one of my non-negotiables is I don't leave the house on an empty stomach. And the same goes if it's a holiday and I know that I'm eating out later. I'm not going to punish myself by starving.
Yeah. Something else I always tell my clients is if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, you cannot see major progress in your physique in a week. So even if, maybe you're going on vacation for Christmas and you want to enjoy all of the fun treats and foods, you're not going to gain progress in a week, nor can you lose progress in a week. It really matters how you bounce back and getting right back on plan. And sometimes it really does come down to memories over macros. Like I tell my clients, and something for myself is the gym's always there, stage is always there. There's so many things that are always there, but some of these memories you may never get back with the people that you're with. And that's honestly something I really took with me on my past trip in Mexico. I was right post show, but at that point, I was like, a week is not going to do anything in the long term. I'm going to get home. I'm going to get right back to plan. And I'm going to look back and be so glad I enjoyed those memories.
Mm-hmm. a lot of people go into like holidays and stuff so worried about like the food or what it's going to do to their progress or body, and they miss out like on those family moments. And I've been guilty of this. I have caused like drama with my own family because I refused to like not bring my food, even though like this was before I even got into bodybuilding. I was so disordered with everything. There was one point like I refused to like go over to my grandma's house for like Thanksgiving dinner because I didn't want to be around. And I don't know, I wish I could just go back and like just slap myself on the hand and be like, this is your family. You're not gonna be living with them or near them in 3 years. Like you're gonna wish you could not go to your nursing job and like be with them for Thanksgiving, because like this year I don't get to be with my family for Thanksgiving, and I'm about to move across the country, and I wish I could go back and like just fix all those times that I like was so worried about food and like my body that I just like missed out on like the importance of the holiday and that family.
Yeah. So, Kate, with that being said, how do you like navigate being away from your family for the holidays? Because I think even though this is a podcast about how to navigate, nutrition and training during the holidays, I think a lot of people could relate mentally on how you kind of handle being away from your family.
So I will miss Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday. I'll have to work both those days. But I went ahead and looked at my schedule ahead of time, and I talked to my family and I was like, hey guys, I have to work Thanksgiving Day and that Friday. But is there any way if I drop on Friday night after work, could we have Thanksgiving that weekend? And my family's like, yes, of course. We will wait for you on Thanksgiving. So they're going to have Thanksgiving that Saturday or this Saturday after Thanksgiving. But mentally it's hard. I've worked plenty of like Christmas Eve night shifts and Christmas Day night shifts and did not get to see my family. And I've cried over it. But the biggest thing is like I would always look at it in my like own position. I'd be like, these people in the hospital don't want to be here on Christmas. They probably are even more upset than I am. Just to look at it as like a way, like, let me help these people. And like anyone in any type of job, look at it as a way like you're giving back to your community, and just try to like reach out to your family and be like, hey, like I have to work. Is there any way we could like celebrate with me like this upcoming weekend or next weekend? And families are gonna like want to enjoy the season with you. So I feel like everyone is flexible, but it is mentally hard to be away. And I guess I could see how people in this position could be like, almost take it like an excuse to like hide away, because I used to do that too. I would almost be happy. Like last year, I was like so happy I didn't have to go to Thanksgiving and be around the food or get the comments. And I guess like to relate that to this podcast, like if you feel like that, don't like, you need to take the time with your family. Don't look at the ability to work on a holiday as an excuse to miss the holiday with your family, because as someone says done that, I wish so bad I could be with my family this year.
That's
Love
so
it.
that's so important. And I think you touched on something that everybody can relate to there too, where it really is like the energy that you bring. And it might sound tacky, but like the mindset that you have around it, because like you said, Kate, you so easily could be like, wow, I have to work on Christmas and all these things. So for you to be able to be like, no, like these people are sick on Christmas, and like for you to understand and flip it into a positive, I think is so important. And I think that that's something that you can do when you're approaching your meals as well. And that's something that I've had to learn, and I've talked to some of my clients as well about, is like when I'm in prep and I'm, bringing a meal to something, right? And talking about like I remember my first season, I'd be like, oh, this sucks. Like I have to do this. I have to do this. Like I wish I could eat that food. I wish I could do those things. But now it's understanding that we chose to do these things, and these are for ourselves, and also the energy that I'm bringing affects the energy of the reaction.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, Kate, because you were talking about this in the beginning of the podcast, about how you use this as an opportunity to kind of educate people on what we do, not pressure anybody. We're not above anybody else. We're not making anybody else feel bad, but understanding that, hey, this is something that I want to do. It's not something that you guys need to feel bad that I'm not having this. So Kate, and you, Caroline, too, how do you guys approach that conversation? What are you saying when people are asking you about this?
Yeah, I've plenty of times have taken like my meal preps to like family events or holidays, and there's never fails. Someone's like, "What's that? Like, what do you have right there?" I used to go through this phase where I just loved potatoes with peanut butter on them. like sweet
So
potato.
good, by the way. It's so good.
I like to like I guess normal people will use in this with quotation normal people. They're like, what is that? My granddad was like, why do you put gravy on your sweet potatoes? And then I'm like, that's not gravy, it's peanut butter. Well, that just sent him on like a whole other universe. But I approach like conversations and like I used to like shut down when someone like would say something because I would be like so embarrassed or be like insecure about what I was eating. I would be like, why do they have to say that? Like, why can't they just leave me alone? And I would like hide in the corner like with my food. But now I look at it as a way to like teach them, like with my granddad, I'm like, well, the potatoes my carb source here, and peanut butter is my fat source, and I'll have like chicken as my protein source. And for my goals, I have my meals split up into like 4 to 5 meals a day with like my macros kind of balanced throughout the day, which he would probably be like, what's a macro? But I just do it like that. And I'm like, these are my goals, and like this means so much. And for in the phase I'm in right now, like I need to eat this meal. Like I can't really eat what you guys are eating. In the future, I would love to, but right now I need to eat this for my goals. So that's kind of how
I feel like goals is the biggest thing of really letting people know why you're doing it. And like a lot of people do feel bad. They're like, oh my gosh, you're missing out. Oh, you can't have this. Oh, you're missing out on this being so good. But they might think that because they're not in my position. But honestly, I don't like get that feel bad feeling anymore. And I love what I eat and I enjoy my meals. And back to the socializing, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, I go with Carson's family. That's my fiance. And I enjoy and I talk and I hang out and I make something. And, you know, when I'm in the right, like when I'm in the phase of life I can be, maybe I'll have one glass of wine to celebrate or I'll pick up one cookie. But I think that it's really gotten to the point of people know what my goals are, and that I think it really came down to just people think that I was missing out, not really realizing where I was coming from, but me explaining that I am choosing to do this.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Even like in the phase I'm in right now with my gut protocol, like yeah, I've kind of talked about it on here. But I'm like very low carb. It's very strict. I eat the same exact meals at almost the same exact time every day if I'm not working, and I will be on this until way past Christmas. But I'm gonna have to go to Thanksgiving with my meals, and my fourth meal that I eat with my family is like lettuce, carrots, ground turkey, olive oil, coconut oil. So a really weird like mixture there. And I know my family's gonna be like, what are you eating? But I've already started educating them on the fact, like especially like my mom and dad and my twin sister. But like my grandparents, aunt and uncles, I know they're gonna be like, what are you doing? What's the gut protocol? They'll probably think it's kind of weird, but you know what? It doesn't matter. And I've learned to accept that because I know what I'm doing. I know my goals and I know the phase of life I'm in. And next year, hey, my gut's going to be working so good I can eat anything probably. It just
Yeah, delayed gratification.
Exactly. It's so exciting too. And I think you guys both like hit on something important too there, where it's like it is our goals, right? And it's something that like we want to do for ourselves. And kind of similar to what you guys were saying too. I remember I was traveling to Sarasota with Bradley because our nephew was born, which was incredible. And
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing
awesome.
good. He's in the NICU right now, but he's doing really good.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was super exciting. And I knew that like we were getting the entire family together. It was like 20 of us for dinner. And I knew that I wanted to like eat dinner that night. So I was like, okay, that's going to be my free meal. But we got together for dinner the night before. It was more of a casual thing. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to bring my meal to this. And what I did was I just brought it with me. And then when it was time for us to eat dinner, I casually just kind of like put it on a plate and I ate with everybody. Some people ask questions, but most people are so caught up in just everybody being together that they're not judging you, you know? So it is really kind of like that compromise sometimes. And I mean, right now I have more flexibility than Kate or somebody in prep, right? So I was able to do that. But I think it really is just understanding that it is for our goals. And when somebody asked me about it, I was like, yeah, like this is why I'm doing this. And I'm talking about it in an excited way because this is something that we're choosing to do rather than being like, oh, woe is me, I have to do this thing. Because if we're not, why would we do it, you know?
And a lot of the questions like people ask you or like they say to you, they're not out of a place of like judgment or like trying to make you feel bad. It's really just because they're curious. And a lot of people deep down, they're like, wow, like that's kind of awesome. That's what my boyfriend's dad tells me all the time. He's like, it's so cool what you do. And I don't know, I'm really thankful for that support. I know not everyone gets it, but I kind of wanted to branch into like, how do you guys like tell your clients with training and stuff, and how do you address it yourself? Because a lot of
Absolutely.
people, they travel to see family and they might not have access to like a gym or even like their normal gym. So how do y'all address that?
Absolutely. Well, the biggest thing that I say, because I think sometimes you need to hear this, is to give yourself permission that day to enjoy it and to not hold yourself as like to this high standard that you always do. Kind of like what we were talking about before, where it's like give yourself some grace on that day, but get right back into your normal habits the next day. That's the most important thing that I stress is, again, front load your day with protein, have some good fiber, stay hydrated because that's one of the first things to go. That's also going to keep you feeling fuller. Enjoy that meal and then get into your normal habits the next day. Don't undereat because of it. Don't overdo cardio. Get into your normal routine, but don't stress about being out of routine for one day. That's what I
Yeah.
usually say.
When it comes to training for me, I would say I tell my clients any movement is great movement. So what I would try and do is either A, flip around your split for the week if needed and try and make it a rest day if possible. And the other thing I would say is go on some little digestion walks. If you're feeling like you ate a lot and you just need to, digest some food, a small little walk will help so much. And try and aim for steps that day. But if you can't get one workout in and you miss one workout, it's not going to set you back. So personally for me, on a holiday, I either A, will make it a rest day and just aim for my steps, or I'll just like plan my training time based around what everyone's doing and the schedules. So like for example, last Christmas, I knew we were going to Carson's aunt's, and so I made sure that I got to the gym in the morning to just check off my boxes for the day and not have to stress about it. So again, I think it all comes down to planning, and like Alani says, like Kate says, and I say, failing to plan, or how does it go? Failing to
Failing to prepare
plan
is
is
preparing to
preparing to
fail.
fail. Yeah. And I think like that is really something to live by.
Mhm.
I agree. I agree. And one little mindset shift too that like always helps me that I get excited for it now on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, that lift the next day. Amazing. It's so good with all that extra food and sodium in your system. Like just think about it that way. Think about, okay, all this food is going to be going to my muscles tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I would like to front load like my lift in the day if I'm lifting that day. But when we used to go to the lake with my family, like we didn't have a gym. There was like the farthest or the closest gym was like 2.5 hours away. So like that wasn't realistic. But like at least get steps, at least go on a walk, just get a little bit of movement. And like Caroline said, it's great for digestion, it makes you feel good, it's great for your mind. And then you can get right back to it when you get back home.
Absolutely. It's like what you said at the beginning, Kate. It's abandoning that all or nothing mindset because it's so easy to be like, oh, well, there's no gym. I'm just going to eat like crap. I'm going to get no movement. And then you're going to feel so down on yourself. And then you start going into this yo-yo mentality. So know that there is a gray area and learn to like live in the gray area sometimes.
Mhm.
Yep. Awesome. I think that was a lot of great information.
Yeah. That was pretty much like all the high points I wanted to hit on.
Yeah. That was awesome. I hope that this was helpful. I feel like it's something that I definitely needed to hear a few years ago. So I hope that that kind of helps some of you guys out there.
Yeah, we can do some more kind of like this as like we get closer to the holidays. But key point, just remember like you're human and this should like fit your lifestyle. This shouldn't be like your life. And just remember that not everyone like made this decision for you to live this way. And just try to remember like these people love you. You can't just block them out.
Absolutely. I think that's a big takeaway is we're fitting fitness into our life, not
Mhm.
the other way around. Right.
Yes, I think that's everything. You guys can listen to this on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Music, and we will see you guys next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.